There are so many journalists in the type universe that could not do what they are doing today and would not be where they are today without the support of Perry Rosenstein.
Perry has doubled down and supported independent writers and journalists doing in-depth stories of public interest from perspectives that are new and different. And that's incredibly crucial, never more crucial than now, I think.
The idea that someone was going to give you money that you could use entirely for your journalism frees you up to be able to think, to be able to travel, to purchase equipment or services that you might need. And it was because of the Puffin Foundation that I was able to do a sweeping global investigation.
I sometimes think of Perry as like the secret person in Great Expectations who sends Pip money and seems to ask for nothing. And Perry was that to me.
One day he said to me, "You know, Time magazine gives a Man of the Year award. Wouldn't that be neat for us to do a Person of the Year?" And that's what launched the Creative Citizenship Award.
I first met Perry about 14, 15 years ago when the Puffin Foundation awarded me and Democracy Now! The Creative Citizenship Award. And I was so deeply moved by his commitment from the very beginning. This wasn't a side interest for him. His commitment to politics and to equality are what drove him in his life.
It's meant a lot to me to know that that support is coming from a foundation and a person who share commitments to justice, to equity, to a fighting kind of journalism that point out inequities and harms and push for them to be corrected.
He deeply cared about the journalists he was funding and supporting, and Perry personally connected to all of the early journalists we funded in those years and really formed, lifelong relationships with them.
I feel so proud to be a Puffin Fellow when I think about all the folks who I share this designation with. It's amazing. It's really, I think the people who receive Puffin Fellowships really represent a span of some of the people doing the most interesting and important work in independent media right now.
He really wanted to make sure that the prize was used to continue the activism of the winners each year. How will this prize help those who are getting it, and how will it enable them to do their really important work? Perry deeply cared about young people and about the world that they would inherit. And the last few years, we really focused on giving the prize to young activists, the March for Our Lives students, the leaders in the Sunrise Movement, Colin Kaepernick.
We've grown so much. When we started in 2017, we had 20 hubs, and now we have 400, and it's really to the relationships and the generosity of people like Perry and his family that we are just so lucky to do the work that we do.
Type Media Center is, for me, most of all, a community of people documenting, writing about, pursuing stories about, and ultimately demanding justice.
I think Perry is a very rare person among those with real wealth because he cared about journalism. And that is a very scanted area among foundations and grants givers and people who bestow their wealth on the world. He made a tremendous difference to the Type Media Center, which has made a great difference in journalism today.
One of the joys of my professional life is still getting to work with Gladys and Neil and to have them in our world and to have them helping us chart the future. We miss Perry terribly, but there could be no better two stewards of his legacy than Gladys and Neil.
He, like Democracy Now!, was committed to training the next generation of independent journalists. And that faith he had in us being able to do this, whether it's classrooms of kids, fifth graders, or journalism graduate students, or fellows or interns, his excitement at hearing the stories of people learning this craft, of going out and spreading it to the world, independent, unembedded, grassroots global media. It is his belief in us that pushed us to go ever further and continues to do that. I consider Democracy Now! One of his legacies, and I thank him so much for that.
There's no question that Perry and Gladys and Neil and the whole Puffin organization and family, they care about their fellows. They care about the work that is being done. And I have every faith that it's going to continue because that's what Perry would have wanted. He was one of the most ferocious, tenacious, take no bullshit, but quiet giants that I have ever encountered in my life. It's been an honor to be affiliated and supported by the Puffin Foundation.